fucking trash.
They're all gonna laugh at
The evil is free.
you! In her soul, she's as common as dirt!
Hello.
Cinéma de merde.
Dun 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, dun, dun. Dun, 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 dun. Hey, this is Scott from Son of a Merde, and today we're going to talk about the movie Jaws: The Revenge, aka Jaws 4. This is directed by Joseph Sargent, stars Lorraine Gary, Lance Guest, Michael Caine, Mario Van Peebles, and Karen Young. Now, you know how Cinema de Merde is ostensibly about bad movies, but there's this whole undercurrent of what do we really mean by bad movie? Well, this is a bad movie. It's like the feeling when someone's telling you an idiotic joke and you just sit staring at them in stony silence. The DVD opens with the proud and majestic Universal logo. And you wonder, are they really proud? Shouldn't they have another understated logo that conveys shame? It's Christmas time in Amity, and Ellen Brody. Who's Ellen Brody, you ask? Remember the wife from the first movie? Yeah, she's the star of this one. Her younger son, Sean, has followed in Daddy's footsteps and become a cop. Now, if you watch the following footage very carefully, you'll note some subtle call-outs to the original film.
Just keep on drifting till it goes away?
So Sean is called out to remove a log that's gotten stuck in some dinghy or some such. When he reaches out to remove the log, the shark removes his arm and then follows a hilariously protracted death sequence in which he screams and flails around for like 10 minutes. Then older brother Michael shows up, bringing along his wife and their little girl, Thea. Thea is one of these annoyingly adorable little kids, and she spouts off things such as,
"You're so grown up."
Uncle Sean is dead, you know.
Lorraine Gary as Ellen is doing her best to act from behind her asymmetrical bob, and she tells Michael,
"I want you to get out of the water."
We find out that in her mind, the original shark killed her husband on land by giving him a heart attack.
Dad died from a heart attack.
He died from fear. The fear that killed him.
I was really hoping the movie would develop this idea that Ellen is nutso and just imagining that the shark is after her and her family, but I guess the shark is really after her and her family. Michael convinces her to join him down in the Bahamas because the water is too warm for great white sharks. Ellen goes, having a little minor breakdown on the ferry. And then meeting Michael Caine as Hoagie. He is apparently named after a submarine sandwich. The shark, having somehow been apprised of Ellen's travel plans, maybe she's got a mole in the Amity Police Department, hotfoots it down to the Caribbean to menace her family some more. We're never explicitly told that this shark is the wife of the shark from the first film, but that's the implication. And it makes you wonder, so what, was the shark in Jaws 2 like the son? And the one in Jaws 3 was like the first cousin? I mean, this is getting to be like The Godfathers. Ellen, it would seem, also shares somewhat of a psychic bond with the shark, with vibes transmissible through water, because she just wades in up to her ankles and suddenly senses that there's something out there.
Golden carriage, and we'll...
And I can invite Cinderella to the ball. She'll come in a golden carriage, too.
Meanwhile, her son Michael, played by Lance Guest of The Last Starfighter, and who looks nothing like the Michaels of the previous movies, is doing his whole marine biologist thing with Mario Van Peebles as Jake, trying on a horribly embarrassing Caribbean accent. Jake is tooling around on the ocean floor when the shark comes by and gives him the old stink eye. But he's not one of the Brody family, so the shark leaves him alone. I'm sorry, it's just hard for me not to imagine the shark in her underground lair hacking into the National Aviation Database to access Ellen Brody's travel plans. I mean, how else does she know that she's traveled down to the Caribbean? Guess it must be that psychic bond they share. Jake wants to study the shark, but Michael doesn't, but he agrees to as long as they keep the whole thing on the DL from his mom. So Jake chums the water to attract the shark and attach some sort of transmitter to it. But look! There's a drifting log heading straight for us. Oh wait, it's just a giant fake shark. They attach a transmitter, blah blah. Meanwhile, Hoagie is hitting on Ellen, who's acting all counter-depressive and giggling like a schoolgirl at having discovered love despite her advanced age and the fact that she looks like a drag queen stumbling from the scene of a car accident.
I have an irresistible urge to kiss you, Ellen Brody.
Then off to the beach where Michael's wife is having one of her hideous sculptures installed with some sort of ceremony, and Michael, supportive husband that he is, skips the whole thing to find that shark. Meanwhile, darling little Thea is apparently unattended as she's being pulled on a banana boat with, as far as we know, total strangers. The shark, who has apparently detected the genetic connection Thea shares with Ellen, targets her and lifts herself up out of the water to eat her off the banana boat. She misses Thea, but the woman behind her helpfully climbs into the shark's mouth and lets it carry her away. This calls for mutual recriminations from the wife to Michael on the order of,
You knew? And you didn't tell us?
Anyway, by this time, Ellen ain't having it. And she takes the big sailboat out to confront the shark, armed only with her wits and her shoulder pad.
Come and get me, you son of a bitch.
I was sure there was going to be some moment in which Ellen stares defiantly at the water and screams, "Come get me! It's me you want!" But sadly that did not come to pass. So Michael has found Jake, and they've enlisted Hoagie to fly his plane to the ship and do something. I don't know what they think they're going to do. This leads to a shot in which we have Ellen, the shark, and the plane all in the same frame. Inadvertently somewhat cool. They crash the plane on the surface of the water and all swim over to the big ship. Now, one of the things I've held off in mentioning is that in each successive Jaws movie, the shark comes further and further out of the water. To understand this, let's consult figure A. So in the first movie, the shark would come out to like here. In the second movie, it was like here, and by this time it's coming all the way out to here and is able to just stay there and munch. This is showcased in the following scene in which Jake goes out to the bowsprit. That's that sticky pointy thing on the front of sailing ships, and the shark comes fully like 8 to 16 feet out of the water to munch him. If you look closely at the following footage, you can see that it's clearly hovering just above the surface of the water. It's psychic, and it can levitate! The shark swims away with Jake in his jaws, spewing massive amounts of blood, and then it comes out of the water once more so Michael can stick a little explosive device right in its mouth. Then he can flash this little thing that for some reason causes the shark to leap from the water and roar like a lion. Then the climax of the movie, and now let's have a little quiz. Please watch this unedited footage and see if you can tell what's going on.
Smile, you son of a bitch.
What happened was that Ellen pilots the boat into the shark during one of its many sojourns above the water, and the bowsprit pierces the shark, hitting the explosive device, and the whole thing blows up. I mean, it's just simple logic. Word on the Wikipedia is that they shot an original ending in which Ellen speared the shark and it caused the whole boat to sink, and yet somehow this was determined to be not as good as the current ending. But when they went back to reshoot, they literally only had $75 in the budget, enough to buy a toy shark, a toy boat, and they thought they'd just try to cover it all up with editing and flashbacks to the original film. Anyway, turns out that Jake is still alive.
What the hell are you doing alive, huh?
Oh, a little massive blood loss? No problem. There was also apparently in earlier versions a voodoo curse set against Ellen and her family, which would also explain the whole psychic bond between her and the shark. It's truly awful. It's not even that fun. There aren't that many shark attacks, and the ones we do see are pretty dumb. They're just a bunch of red, blurry flashes. And then the whole ludicrous idea of revenge and the attempt to center this whole thing around Ellen Brody, who no one wants to see. If you really want to watch this, you might just buy a rubber shark and hit yourself in the head with it, get the same feeling, and save yourself the rental. Once more, this is Scott from Cinema de Merde, where you'll find lots of other videos and reviews and podcasts and essays and stuff like that, and you should go there now. It's CINEMADEMERDE.com. Anyway, so thank you for watching, hope you enjoyed it, and